August 26, 2020 would be a date that will forever change the lives of those who live along the southwest Louisiana coastline. A powerful Category 4 hurricane by the name of Laura slammed into the coastline with a powerful 18-foot storm surge and 145-mile-an-hour winds, leaving some areas unrecognizable. Nobody could have imagined that just 6 weeks later, they'd have to pack up once again and be in the crosshairs of yet another hurricane. Delta, a Category 2 storm, originally taking aim towards the Morgan City area like a sick, twisted joke, changed its course and would make landfall just 15 miles east of Laura, leaving those to pick up the pieces yet again, stripping what little they had left away from them. October 6th. Excuse me, this has been a long year for the tropics. If I'm making you this video, you obviously know what's up. As we've seen before with Laura and Sally, I am making my way back down to the Gulf Coast again for the third time in a month, and it looks like Hurricane Delta could potentially be the second major landfalling hurricane that the US has seen this year. We've already had an historic amount of hurricanes, up to 10 landfalls so far this year. So many that we are in the Greek alphabet. We ran out of names in the standard alphabet, and now we're using the Greek terms, and we are already 3 to 4 names deep in the Greek alphabet, and it is only October 6th. As we saw with Hurricane Michael last year, anything can still happen. Hurricane season is still peaking in October. It should not be taken lightly. The waters are a little cool right now, but if Delta continues to strengthen, like it does, it's not going to have much time to weaken over the Gulf despite cold water temperatures. So we're heading down there, and by we, I mean me, and getting down there a little earlier to scope out some spots. It looks like landfall is going to be on Friday or Saturday, and we'll see what this system has to offer. The poor folks of Louisiana cannot catch a break this year. Let's see what she's got. Currently near Louisville, Kentucky, and we gotta get those essential foods for those hurricanes. Typically we go for tuna, peanut butter, canned SpaghettiOs, which taste amazing after a few days of being stuck in a car without restaurants open. There we go. These guys, only $1. Can never go wrong with those. Let's go with jalapeno. Let's get a little spicy. Let's turn things up. I gotta tell you folks, I'm in freak out mode right now. Hurricane Delta is now on the cusp of being a Cat 5 hurricane as it approaches the Cancun island of Mexico. I think it's an island. Maybe it's just not an island, but it's approaching Cancun as a Cat 5. I am trying so hard right now to find a last minute flight, and I can't. Landfall in the US is still going to be intense, but this thing is bombing out, similar to what Hurricane Wilma did. And boy, oh boy, is it a sight to behold. It has dropped 7 millibars, I don't know how well you can see that, in the last 30 minutes. And I can't find a flight there, or anyone to go with, because all the flights are getting canceled or can't make it in time. Life of a storm chaser. Gotta love it. Newest model data is in, and it is not looking pretty for the folks along the Louisiana coastline. Not terribly far from where we documented Hurricane Laura in Lake Charles. So those areas that were already damaged are going to be pretty bad shape. The more reliable models, the HMON and the WRF, are pretty much showing the exact same thing. So I hope that the folks of Louisiana are taking their preparations seriously. I feel for those people that have already evacuated and just got back home and now have to evacuate again. I'm gonna do my best to cover the story in this truly historic storm season. Man, I tell you guys, you wanna talk about spooky? There's been so many hurricanes affecting the Louisiana and Gulf Coast areas that I just got to my hotel on the southwest side of New Orleans, or a little bit southwest of New Orleans, and the hotel is filled with power crews and other people that are already working on the damaged areas, such as Lake Charles and other areas along the Gulf Coast, that they're already down here, and they are probably going to have to evacuate or seek shelter from the area that they're in for another hurricane. Scouting locations for places around this hurricane. I don't think this is going to do very well.
You know, to have every stitch picked up, every bit of debris picked up 5 weeks after a storm like Laura is really an impossibility.
Being a storm chaser, you never know who you're going to meet or what you're going to come across. As thousands of residents flee areas in danger of being destroyed by disasters, it can always be a touchy topic when you are wandering around filming homes and businesses boarding up and packing in preparation of the storm. So as you can imagine, you really need the people skills to make it apparent you mean no harm while filming. Brandon and I earlier in the day came across a small community known as Cypermort Point, a small town located in the Vermilion Bay of Louisiana, and would be a prime location for our goal of capturing the storm surge side of Delta. This is where I'd meet Hugh. I explained to Hugh as he packed up his house that I was a storm chaser and made sure he didn't mind me being on the property filming. Time and time again, these smaller communities get overlooked by larger, more widely covered areas, yet are hit just as, if not harder, than most, and I like to keep them in the spotlight. Hugh thought it was the coolest thing in the world that a couple of storm chasers were out there wanting to ride out the storm. With no condos or hotels available, Hugh goes, "I got someone I want you to meet," and drove me to a beautiful home right on the water where I'd be introduced to Lee, one of the nicest, most humble, and funny guys I have ever had the pleasure of meeting. He opened his beautiful home with open arms to ride out the storm with great excitement, and at the risk of losing our vehicles to surge, we drove them further inland, got a ride back over to the point, and had a relaxing evening full of laughs, great food, and storytelling before Delta made landfall the following day.
One of the best nights of my life, hands down. The fact that I am here about to experience a hurricane is the last thing that would cross my mind. Lee, his friends, his neighbors, some of the most genuine people I have ever met in my entire life. This whole entire community on this island is like one big happy family to us now. Welcoming up with the open arms, cooking us dinner, cooking us breakfast, and we're all gonna ride out this storm together tomorrow with a potentially 7 to 11 foot storm surge. I only hope that Lee's house comes out okay, because it's just unbelievable the hospitality that we have been shown here, especially for being total strangers, about to film their island, you know, potentially get completely changed. I mean, we're talking about 11 feet of water tomorrow. So we're gonna see what the day has to hold. We're gonna get a few hours of sleep before sunrise, and we'll see what tomorrow has to offer for us. Let's go.
We are on landfall day. Hurricane Delta is about 100 miles offshore right now, as they're making its way approach very quickly. As a matter of fact, it's moving at about 12 miles an hour in my general direction. I do think that it's going to pass a little bit to my west, but that in fact would put us in the highest storm surge area. The storm is really growing in size, and I have a feeling this whole area is going to be underwater come later this evening into the afternoon. I've never experienced storm surge with any kind of storm yet before, so it's going to be an interesting experience, the first time for all of us. Likely going to sacrifice the eye, but it's going to be a worthy sacrifice as we potentially get historic video of storm surge. This coming on the day before the 2-year anniversary of Cat 5 Hurricane Michael. As the waves of Delta grew larger and larger, piers began to become damaged and dislodged from their anchors. I became so transfixed by the huge waves crashing over the tall trees that I decided to head out on foot further down the point. But it was a race against time, and I had to pay close attention to the surge levels so I didn't get cut off from my home base and exposed to the elements. brief moment of terror occurred as surge nearly doubled in depth in the short amount of time I was gone as I tried to get back to the home base. At this point, I yet again tried to go mobile to see how other parts of the point were favoring during the storm. But deep surge and waves crashing into the vehicle and shifting it off of the road quickly put a nail in that idea, and we rushed back to the home base.
Stay inside the palm trees.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh. Oh, it's coming in big time now. Oh. That was a big one.
Are we in the grass?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, we in the grass. Feel it?
Yeah, we in the grass. Oh, shit. Maybe put it in 4-wheel.
Oh, that's a big one.
Oh, shit. We're underwater, I think.
Oh,
Lord. No, you couldn't even see that.
Oh, no.
All the transformers gonna float again.
Clement, look at this. I'm serious. Get here right now. Come here. Hurry.
Entering the eye of Delta, it was as if we were cast into the pits of hell as the sky turned blood red and purple as the sun began to set onto the horizon. I have never seen or heard of this happening whilst in a hurricane, but it was one of the most beautiful yet terrifying things I had ever seen. Early the next morning, I awoke to a stunning sunrise over the Vermilion Bay, eager to see how the point fared from the storm surge. Docks were destroyed, walls were missing from condos, and boats lay beached onto the roadway. Overall, Cypermort Point fared far better than I could have ever imagined, which was a sigh of relief for the incredible folks of this community. The cleanup process was fast to begin as roadways and homes caked in chocolate pudding-looking mud and debris were left behind. The memories from this chase will last a lifetime, and the incredible community that is Cypermort Point that took us under their wing will forever hold a special place in my heart. Delta would go on to kill 3 people and cause an estimated $1.2 billion in damage. The sun set on another chase and another story to tell, and it was time to head home, hopefully for the last time this tropical season.